Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back to Buckroads County. 6 o'clock. Oh, well, not much to do here. Let me go back and hit the sack. Christmas is finished. I hope everyone had a enjoyable, relaxing Christmas. For those who don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you enjoyed time off with your families, and yeah. Anyway, time to bring down this ornament. I never really did spend the time to work out what. I'm sure it had other features attached to it. Not so much this one, but the other one. This one here, because when I downloaded it, it had visions of reindeer in the front and all lit up. And it was probably an option that was given to me when I was installing it, but I just rushed it through and didn't think much of it. But anyway, Christmas is over, so I want to get rid of the decorations, so I'll do that right now. Hopefully they're not permanent features. Instruction. Where are we? There's one of them. Where's the other one? There. Right. Sell. Okay, and the other one here. How much is that? For nearly 500. Sell. Yes, I want to sell it. Okay. Oh well, we left a couple of patches in the lawn. I may or may not paint over that at a later stage. What's the time? It is 6:30 approximately in the evening. Okay. Just I might just check the animals and do before I hit the sack. Okay, well, I can do that first thing tomorrow. Actually, I won't do it first thing tomorrow because I'm going to go over to the other field and put some oilseed radish down. I'm going to put this away. See where I'm going. Just have a look. Wow, yeah, there's a lot of debris around here. I've got to find time to pick it up. That'll do. Right, now where's the tractor? Okay, so that's fertilizer, that's right. I'm going to put some oilseed radish down. I will need this spreader again, because I'm going to put some lime. I need some lime too, so. How much money have I got? $52,000. Right. So, buttons. Pressing all sorts of buttons. So, what I will be doing this episode is putting the oilseed radish down. A bit of silage work. Then I'll work out what I'm going to be doing. Pretty dark here at night time. I mean, it gets dark early. I suppose with all the forestry and that and lack of light, I suppose you've got to accept that. Right. So, let's try to turn the map off. here a bit. Wow, pretty dense growth around here. Oh wow. Where's home? Am I lost or something? Can't be that far out, surely. No, just the forest is. Just the forest is hiding a lot of details. I'm snagged on something here. I think it's a tree behind me. Let's have a look what's going on here. Yeah, it had to be one of these small trees. Can't go either way. I wonder if it's on my land. Probably not, knowing my luck. Pretty much going to have to disconnect the trailer to get that one out. It's probably not even my tree. Yeah, alright. I'm just going to have to disconnect that because I really am sort of snagged good and proper. Oh man, this is ridiculous. There's been no room. It'd be a joke if I had to buy this block of land just so I could chop that tree down. Yeah, okay. Disconnect it again, see if I can get a better angle. Get it? Yes. Now I've lost my bearings. Woodpecker. Okay, so I've got to go left. Let's get in the car. Let's get in the truck, I should say. Okay, I really shouldn't have got off the road. It's pretty unforgiving. Okay. Just looking at the map. You can't see anything through the scrub. It's pretty dense over that way. I'm going to go wide to come back. Now I've got to go hard right. No, that's not going to happen. I'll get myself tangled up. I might have to go back to the road at this rate. Isn't that hard right now? Can I get there? Back it up and go a bit more right. Straighten quickly. Hey! Okay, I'll be behind the sheep. Actually, how are the sheep going with food? They're fine. Right. That was an ordeal. Note to self, don't go cross country. That's the side. I'm going to park it here. Oh, man, it's really dark. Okay, let's do this. We'll get up at 6 o'clock. Got a bit of work to do today, or tomorrow I should say. Okay. Right. So we've got here seed. I think we've got lime at the shed. Yep, I'm going to fill that up. Hopefully that's going to be enough lime. Yep. pretty limited with the lights. Alright. Well, actually what I'll do, because it's so dark, I'm just going to take equipment down. I've got to take the cedar down anyway. So while it's so dark, I'll use my time to get the cedar down. It's just over here. Just make sure it's empty. I'll rephrase it. I'll just make sure it's full, not empty. What are we going to do? I think that's what I'm looking for. Oh, there we are. Okay. Straight up. Oilseed radish. Okay, and how full are we? I think from memory the radish goes a long way, so hopefully I won't need to come back for more, but I will make sure I leave with a full load of seed. I can turn it around a bit. Alright. Okay, see how we go with that. You know, I'll just put this over near the trailer. I'm going to get it on the bag anyway, for just in case. Simply because it's a decent load and I don't want to have to come back here. I'll take a bag with me. What's the best way to come in here? Come through this way. Everything's in the way. Okay, I can move that one, that's good. I really need to clean this yard up. Right. I haven't even got forks with me at the moment. I'm not really organised today. Where are my forks? Do one map. Let's zoom right into it. Okay, they're up near the sheep. Alright. Okay. At least I know where they are. Fuel. Fuel is okay. Oh, there they are. I see them. I see them in the dark. Right here. Right, okay. Okay, I've got almost one pallet of seed. One pallet of wood. Just about ready to go. Can I sneak in here? I can. Oh, whoa. Did see it, I just couldn't stop in time. Okay, let's hop in the cabin up to get a better view. Except for the exhaust pipe. Not really seeing it, but it's hard. Maybe I'll do the other. Yeah, I'll do this one. At least I'm not going to be blocked by the exhaust pipe. There we go. I don't think I'll need more than that. Already the sun's starting to come up now, which is great. Let's get back on the road. Well, alright. Hopefully it's not too crowded here. It looks like a nice gap over here which I can take. Right, finally the road. Wow, that was painful. Coming through the forest, that is. Looks like it's going to be a nice sunny day today, which is great. Let's get this field prepped. Yeah, I want to get high yielding crop in here. I'm thinking I always seem to struggle to remember what it is. I know what I'm thinking of, but I always seem to spit out something different. I always want to say sorghum, but I don't mean sorghum. What's the other one? I'll pull over in a second, because I think I called it sorghum last episode, but it wasn't sorghum that I wanted to put in. It was something else. Canola and soybeans. That's what I was trying to spit out for some reason. I couldn't remember it. Just thought of it then. Either canola or soybeans. That's what I'm going to put in here, I think. So let's have a quick look at that. No, here. Okay. Canola, no chance, and probably soybean, no chance too, I'd imagine. Where are we? Soybeans, yeah. See, I've got plenty of time to do it, so I might as well just use the oilseed radish. It's a little bit longer process than the fertiliser, but it's a lot cheaper, and it means I don't have to go to the shop to get extra fertiliser. I'm just going to straighten it up a bit if I can. Oh, come around, there we go. Well, now it's even wanting to go again. I'm not going to lie, I'm confused as heck, because for two reasons. When I mowed the lawns, I noticed I was skipping a lot. I thought maybe it was because of the headlands. Maybe the headlands were slightly out and was setting off a bit of a chain reaction with the alignment. But then I started going up and down on parts of the field that hadn't been touched, and I was still getting very thin strips. I figured it must be because of the alignment in the steering assist. So I went to have a look at it, but I couldn't be bothered with the mowing because by the time I worked it out, I think I just couldn't be bothered changing it. So I jumped into the Stratsmans, and all of a sudden I looked at the mapping of the when I was setting it up. I'm thinking that's only 2 or 3 passes and the whole field was gone. I said, I remember last time it took a lot longer than that. So I went with it for a while, and then I started doing a freehand, and I said, no, I'm going to adjust it to where I think it should be. So I did. I adjusted it, I think, to about 3 metres. It looked like an appropriate setting. And as it's as it's picking the grass up, I can still see it's picking up stuff excessively over the margin lines. But more importantly, what I noticed is if I jump in the cab, I've only got 20,500, and it's a very rounded figure, so I'm not sure what to go with that is. And in here, it's 82,000, and I've probably used some of this to feed the sheep. Now, fair enough. Okay, I've just worked out something. Okay, well, I have worked out something. This probably includes the meadow grass from the other field that I've just ploughed. Okay, well, that's fair enough. So it might be accurate, but when I was mowing it with the margins, it just didn't look right. It was well and truly, a good setting for the trailer was about 3 metres width. Okay, and it was, I think, it was 10 metres or something, which is 3 times. And I don't think I was getting, it's not as if it was a cheat, because I wasn't getting it was taking 10 metres of grass at a time, but it wasn't crediting me the grass, because I would have had to do 2 or 3 loadfuls for sure. I've done the whole field, and I haven't even filled the tank. So I feel a bit ripped off, I'm not going to lie. I'll have to look into that. The other possibility too is the grass wasn't at full length. I accept that. That's to why my figure is down. But I got two big questions I got to work out. Is firstly, why did the whole field finish on exactly 20,500 neat? That's the first question. And why is it that the margins look to be excessively corrupt, if you like, because it was showing something like 10 and it should have been 3. So I'm going to have to look at my previous recordings to work that out. I'm just going to go with it for the time being. Maybe there's been some update. Maybe I'm not saying that is. I got no idea. But I'm going to go through my previous recordings and see if I can work it out. Having said that, I'm just going to dump it here. I'm not going to bother crashing it up in this episode. I was going to, but I want to do a bit of research before I do that. So I'm just going to empty this out, and that's more or less going to be the episode. I know it was a lot of grinding, but I'm at the early stages where I've pretty much, this is all I can do at the moment. We're doing a pretty good job. And note to self, next episode, make sure I fertilise the grass. Now notice, if you can see in the background, I've deliberately let a bit of grass on the edges. On the right hand side I've left a little bit, mainly just so I can compare the growth cycle. And I'm not talking about the cut grass. Around the rim I've left little patches. It's just so I can compare the growth rate as this field starts to develop. And the other thing is, on the left hand side, I don't know if you can see it, there's a small patch that I missed. I missed deliberately because there's a stump that I found, and I'm using that little patch as a marker, so at a later stage I'll note to self, go and get rid of it. I don't like stumps in the fields at all. Anyway, on that disappointing note, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe it's just a fluke that I got exactly 20,500, and maybe it's the lesser amount of grass is simply because the grass wasn't at a fully 100% growth, and I could understand that for sure. Alright, well, I've emptied it all in, so I should have over 100,000 now, because I think it was 80,000 before, and I've just added 20,000 obviously, but I'll be curious to see if it's changed for whatever reason. Just get a little closer to the wall and straighten it up. Right. I don't want to do too much in this episode, simply because next episode I'm not going to have a lot to do. I've got to, with the other field that I purchased, I've got to lime it. I've got to plough it first, and that'll give the fertiliser stage. Then I've got to lime it, and then that field will be pretty set for a little while. At a later stage, I'll have to get some fertiliser. Well, I've got some fertiliser here, I don't know how much, and I'll have to give it a second. I'll have to use the fertiliser that I've purchased to do the second coat. That's the way it works. Yeah, so I've left. I know there's a little bit of mowed grass here. I'm not talking about that, but here you can see the patch. That wasn't a mistake. That was actually quite deliberate. As this grass grows, I want to compare it to here to try and gauge what a full length growth is. I can let this one go wild to see how high it's going to get. Anyway, that's the only reason why I left that. Anyway, on that note, hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a grindy. These next few episodes are going to be a bit grindy until I get fields up and running, and then it'll be plenty of work to do. But I am enjoying it. I'm just going to have to do a bit of research on what happened with this. I might be reading too much into it, but I just want to double check. And I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely hope to see you again next time. Stay safe, everybody, and bye for now.